family. Welcome to FBA All Day, the show all about justice and understanding for our people. I am the Lord Eric Steele, aka Big Rossi Love, perpetual student of the survival scrolls. If you know, you know. Okay, people. So I've been sent a lot of emails on today's topic of this episode of Skinfolk Spotlight. The spotlight is going to shine down on Governor Wes the Mess Moore. Very disheartening. Some of the emails I got, some of the emails I received, I really felt you could see that they were heartfelt. They were sent from some of my people in Baltimore. They were telling me about the way they feel about the way this all went down. So I'm not sure of all the information that people know or do not know. So I'm going to read a little bit of what transpired down there with this guy, and the reason why he becomes the focus of Skinfolk Spotlight for today. Now, let me say this before we get too far along. This show is about facts, not feelings. Okay, I'm not coming to you because I'm feeling a sort of way just to be feeling this sort of way. We come to you and we point these people out because they deserve to be focused on. Some people, they come among us, and I never say all because I have a lot of Caribbean people who are very dear to me. I have a lot of African people who are very dear to me that I call friends, some I call family. I have white people the same way. Some are friends that are very close to me that I've known since I was a little boy, very dear to me. But that is, in of itself, another thing altogether. I can't allow those relationships to prevent me from bringing the truth to our people. I have to bring you this game. I have to show you the things that are detrimental to the progress of our people. I have to do that as a father, as a brother, as a husband. I have to bring you the truth. Okay? I have been selected to bring you the truth and to show you the games that I decipher that are being run on our people. Okay? I have to do this. So, with that being said, I'm going to point out the games. Okay? And it's something that's been drilled many a times. If you go through my timelines on any of my social medias, you'll find I've always pointed this stuff out. It's always somebody that'll be a black face put before us, and we'll be told, hey, this is your leader. We didn't select this person, but for some reason he's been elevated to a position of power, and then they turn around and undermine everything that we're trying to do. And we just started to recognize that we see some of these people aren't even from our community. They're from somewhere else. So they find themselves in position to make decisions over our specific group. When we come with a need, when our specific group asks for reparations, when we ask for set-asides that everybody else is getting that were supposed to be for us in the first place. Understand that. The Civil Rights Act was started for foundational black American, not Caribbeans, not Africans, not Asians, not Latinos, not gay white men, not gay white women. All those people have been elevated above us in the ladder of progress. They've all been allowed to forward their agendas while they sit back and try to prevent us from getting ours, when that whole thing was about us from the beginning. Even Donald Trump says that civil rights was for the freedmen, was for the descendants of slaves. Donald Trump said that on national TV. Now, I know if he's smart enough to know that, there should be no reason why the rest of you don't understand that. And yet we get these people who are supposed to be our leaders, like Kamala Harris, like Wes Moore, like, what's the dude's name from South Carolina? Uncle Ruckus looking dude. Clyburn, whatever his name. They always breaking their neck to kumbaya for somebody else, and then when it's our turn, they get the mumbling. They can't figure it out. Oh, it's too tough for us. But for everybody else, it's quick, fast, and in a hurry. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. And like I said, this is not going to be feelings. This is going to be fact. When Joe Biden got elected in 2020, do you see how fast they got that Asian crime bill in effect? Even though their whole reason for doing it was made up, There was no concerted effort of black people to hurt Asians. That's just a lie. Those people who got jumped downtown New York, those people who were jumping them, those were Caribbean dudes. Those dudes were not from here, but yet we have to take the brunt of that. So now there's an Asian crime bill that gets enforced against us, as if we had something to do with that. Kamala Harris had something to do with it. That's for sure. They're so quick to jump and say, oh, the black people doing this, the black people doing, no. We're not doing that anymore. We are not just one big nigga. That's not what we are. We're not just one big black. Okay? Just like everybody else, we have delineation. There's Italians, there's Scottish, there's French, there's Italian, there's foundational black American, there's Caribbean, there's African. Don't try to put us into one group and nobody else is being put in the same group. Don't give us your special treatment. We reject that. When you say African American, that don't mean nothing to me. I'm not an African American. I have no ties to continental Africa whatsoever. Now understand this. Understand the scholarship. I'm not talking about DNA. Everybody on the planet has DNA that will lead back to Africa. That's not what I'm talking about. Even though that's the case, everybody has a piece of DNA from Africa, but do you call people in Dominican Africans? Do you call people in Haiti Haitian Africans? Well, don't leave your special terms for us. We didn't ask for that. We don't accept that. We are foundational black Americans. We are the ones that built this country. We were here before there was a country. We did not have to immigrate from anywhere. We are totally different. We are our own people. We had an ethnogenesis. We are something completely different, and we refuse to be ignored. Everybody wants to take everything that we build, everything we create, gets assimilated into everybody, and then we don't get any compensation. Those days are done. Those days are done. Our people are not being silent anymore. We're not just going to keep suffering in silence where everybody steps on us. Those days are done. We're done. Until amends are made for the things done detrimentally to us, we're just not going to participate. That's why you lost that last election. And if you think that's something, wait till you see what else happens when 43 million foundational black Americans stop participating. If you're going to ignore us with your benign neglect, then we're just not going to participate. And you just end up where you end up. You already done the worst you can do to us. There's nothing that you can do to us. We are not playing these games anymore. They send these little puppet people and put them in positions, and then they turn around and undermine everything we're doing. We're not playing that anymore. Those games are done. Those days are over. Okay? And I'm going to read to you some of the things that transpired with Governor West, just so you can see the double talk and the double speak this weirdo decided to do. Now, we've been fighting and trying to put things in place for our reparations for some time now, and it's not going to stop. I just want you to show how these guys get in position and they turn their little snakes, they hiss their little snakes at us. I want to show you the kind of stuff that they do. So then when we call them tethers, and then when we call them when we separate ourselves and delineate ourselves from them, you'll understand why. Because nobody else would tolerate this type of behavior. No other group has a group of people trying to speak for them and then take things away from them. No other group has that. And we're not going to take it either. Our days is over. We're watching everything these people do. And we're going to continue to point them out for their nonsense. Watch. Governor Wes Moore announced on Friday he's going to veto a measure to create a commission to study potential slavery reparations in the state. Now, here's the thing. That's another trick bag because we don't need a study. We don't need a study. Everybody in the world knows what was done to us. Everybody in the world already knows what transpired. What are they studying? Why do they keep having to make a study? When thought them Asians were getting harmed, When they thought black people were beating up Asians, they didn't go, oh, let's study it. Oh, that's very interesting. Let's study it. They didn't do that. They had 2 instances on camera. They got a crime bill passed, and they got money in terms of compensation. They didn't study. When those people were getting bombed and thrown out of their place over there in the Ukraine, they didn't go, oh, that's interesting. They're being killed. Let's study. Let's study and see if we should help them or see if we should give them some money. No. They brought those people over here. They were given $15,000 a month and a daggone hotel to live in. Just like that, overnight. We're not falling for that stuff anymore. Those days are over. He said that while it was a difficult decision, the issue has already been studied and now it's time to focus on the work. Nonsense. We don't, all that's just blabber. We already have scholars for decades. People that are way smarter than him have already studied this. We have Dr. Claude Anderson, who wrote the first legislations to take into place for us all the way back, had to be in the 80s. He wrote it for Florida. We already know how the compensation packages could be done. As far as the freedmen go, if you remember, there were treaties. In those treaties, the compensations was already laid out. They had no problem giving it to the red natives. They had no problems with those compensation packages for them. And we fought side by side. So if it was okay for them, it'll be okay for us. Give us some land. Give us non-tax status. Give us $5,000 per person per month. We'll start there. That's a great place to start. Don't treat us no differently. You don't have to treat us differently. Not at all. We'll accept the same compensation package. We could start there. That's a great place to start. I'd love to start there. Moore, who claims to be a Democrat, is Maryland's first black governor and the only black governor currently serving. He wrote in his letter that he applauded the people who tried to do the work. He applauded all your hard work, but he gonna veto it anyway. Thanks for your work, but no. In light of the many important studies that have taken place on this issue, exactly, studies over 3 decades, what are they studying? Do they not know about the chattel slavery? Do they not know about the lands that were taken from us? Do they not know about the towns that they burned down? Do they not know about the towns that they have underwater right now? It's 20 or 30 little black towns that they flooded right now. Right now to this day, they're underwater, purposely sabotaged and flooded on purpose. Do they not know about the redlining that they did to our soldiers coming back after fighting for this country? Do they not know about the loans they were not given? Do they not know about the projects they were forced to live in and then took the resources out to make us fight amongst each other? Do they not know about the guns they put into that same area? They put the guns there. The government flooded them areas with guns. Do they not know about the drugs they brought over? Do they not know about COINTEL? What don't they know about? What are they studying? How much more do you need before you go, okay, these people have suffered enough? How much more? How much studying do you need? Why does our people take so much studying instead of just making things right? This is not a different government. This is not a different country. Like some of those countries in Africa, they don't exist anymore. When this thing kicked off for us over here 400 or 500 years ago, some of the countries in Africa, those countries are not even there anymore. Those countries aren't there. Nigeria is a new country. It's very new. It may barely, I'm not even sure if it's older than Israel. Israel wasn't, if you go back to 1900, there is no place called Israel. Israel came into effect in the 40s. That's when they took those people's land in 1940. That's not even 100 years ago. But the government that had us enslaved, the government that said Jim Crow laws were okay, that government is still here. It's the United States government, the exact same government that had us oppressed. They owe us. The debt is due. You enjoyed all of our benefits. You enjoyed all of our labor. And now it's time to pay the bill. The bill is due. It's that simple. You don't need to study for that. That's not what the study should be done for. He said in his veto letter, Mr. Wes Moore, Wes the Mess Moore said, black politicians have risen to the highest levels of government in state in recent years. That's got nothing at all to do with foundational black Americans getting reparations. Reparations means repair. Just because these people have our skin tone don't mean they were us. He is not one of us. Wes Moore is not one of us. He's not a foundational black American. He's not from here. Why he feels he should be the one selected to open his mouth on something that doesn't concern him is amazing. Do you know when you go to court and the judge has what's called a conflict of interest, if he knows the plaintiff or if he knows the defendant, they recuse themselves because they have a conflict of interest. That's a level of morality. Why does he not feel, since he's not entitled to our reparations, why does he feel he should be the one to deny something? He looks like us. If you just see him walking around, you think, oh, this is just a black guy. You would think that. But he's not from here. He's Caribbean. He's from somewhere else. His parents are from somewhere else. Okay? He should not be the one to speak on our business. Do you ever see any Chinese people speaking for the Italians? That's just a question. When you have delegates come over from Canada, do they send an Australian person to speak on their behalf? I'm just curious. I'm just curious about that. When the delegates from Britain come here, is it somebody from Switzerland talking? Then how come when it comes time for foundational black American business, they can't seem to find a foundational black American? Why do they have to keep getting people who aren't qualified to speak on it? He would not be entitled to it. He's not from here. It's very simple. Let me explain it to you. If your people were not here, if you can't track your lineage back to the 1700s, the 1800s, you are not a foundational black American. It's very simple. If your parents, if your family had to immigrate here from somewhere else, you cannot be foundational. It's very simple. It's either you are or you aren't. It's a lineage. And this is not racism. This is not hate. This is called facts. Either your people were here or they were not. It's that simple. It's really simple. Oh, well, what about me? I'm black and I live in America. Yeah, but were your people here? Were your people slaves here? Did your people deal with the Jim Crow eras? Here's another one. Here's one, a good one for the Africans coming over here. Were you ever listed as white on your identification? Sounds funny, don't it? Sounds funny, don't it? But it's about 40% of them that come over here, blacker than me, darker toned than me, on their IDs and their licenses, it says white. Now that's either the truth or a lie. Were you ever classified as a white person? You, my friend, would not be considered a foundational black American. That just is what it is. That don't mean I hate you. That don't mean you hate me. That don't mean I don't like you. There's none of that. What it does mean is that you should have no business speaking on our business. Stay in your lane. We fought in the 60s and 70s to get you guys allowed to be here. Foundational black Americans put that fight in. We were the ones being harmed over here. They were turning water hoses on our wives, on our daughters, on our children. They were sicking dogs on our grandparents. We were the ones that had to fight for this. We fought to include you guys. And then for you to come over here and undermine what we're trying to build is a slap in the face. It's giving off Judas. It's giving off Judas vibes. You come here and you enjoy the coolness of being black and perceived as being cool because you're black. And then when it's time to address the black issues, all of a sudden you think you're something else. You want to be team white supremacy. And that's all it is. If you can't be one or the other, even in the Bible, it says the Lord will not accept lukewarm. He says hot or cold. If you're lukewarm, the Bible says the Lord will spit you out. It says the Lord will spit you out if you are lukewarm. You can't find out if you're going to be cold or black. You can't be with us and working against us. It doesn't work that way. It will never work that way. And I'll tell you, I have a long memory. Once I see the type of person you are, i.e. Kamala Harris, I never forget. I.e. Joe Biden, I never forget. I never forget. You may ask for forgiveness. Heck, I may even give it to you, but I'll never forget. I'll always know you have a tendency to go along with the dominant society to the detriment of my people. I will never forget that. I told my people in Baltimore, don't you guys ever vote for him again. I don't care if he comes to your house and delivers you peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day till voting time. Don't you even raise a finger to vote again until he's out of there. Nothing else he does means anything to me. It means nothing. He doesn't want to participate with the repair that's been damaged, to the repair the damage that's been done to our people. I have nothing. He's dead to me. I have no use for him. They like to try to give us these symbolic victories. Oh, he's the first black this, or oh, they're the first black this, and nothing they do reflects anything black to me. A black face in a powerful place has done nothing for us in 30 years. That means nothing. And it all started out with Obama. You have to realize when Obama was president and the way he handled himself, the way he allowed our people to be murdered, the way he shucked and jived and kissed up to the cop who invaded his friend's home. He didn't invite his friend to the White House for a beer. He invited the cop. That was very deep. That hurt. That stabbed me in my heart when I saw that. Let me get this right. The cop was on Dr. Gates's property talking garbage to him, and you invited the cop to the White House? You sat down with the policeman at the White House and had a beer. That was the allegiance I needed to see. And this, like I said, this is not about feelings. I don't care how much your grandma, your aunt, and all these people love Obama. That means nothing to me. Him being a decent person is just him being a decent person. That doesn't mean anything to me. That's him taking care of himself. That's great. But what about the foundational black American people that voted him in? What did he do for us? You see, that's a total different thing. What did he do when Mike Brown was shot in the head? Huh? Talk to me. Because that girl who broke into the Congress building, who got shot and killed, Donald Trump spoke on her. Donald Trump just sent her family $5 million. Compensation, baby. And she was the criminal. He didn't care what people thought about him. He did what he had to do for his perceived people. And therein lies the rub. Obama didn't perceive us as his people. That's why he didn't do nothing for us. And that's why we were smart enough to know Kamala wasn't going to do nothing for us. We ain't dumb. Why would we put somebody who don't want to do nothing for us in power? You must think we're dumb. We're not dumb. We're far from dumb. For those of you who like history, you will find it in your best interest to understand that the foundational black Americans had the highest curve of getting educated in recorded history. After slavery, in less than 10 years, 80% of us could read. From being against the law to read, against the law to be taught to read, to literacy almost overnight is unheard of. You've never seen that before. We ain't stupid. At the end of Jim Crow, at the end of slavery, we had over 50,000 patents. 50,000 patents. And we should have more, but the dominant society was stealing our ideas. Heck, they still doing it. They do it in our face right now. Ask yourself where they got that term woke from. Ask yourself. And then ask yourself, why can't they never define what it is? Because they took it from the conscious black community. We used that term. We came up with that term, and they just assimilated into their stuff. They don't even know what they're talking about half the time. And you know why the people that's in power to check them can't check them? Because they don't know either. The Democratic Party, they don't know. They're just a bunch of tethers up there. Most of them are immigrants from someplace else, and they don't have the gift of gab. They don't have the gift of gab. They don't have it. That's how they're getting out-talked by these ignorant people. And if you pay attention to the Republicans, all they do is babble like a bad child. They have no discipline. In the middle of a congressional hearing, they can't shut up. You ask them a question for one thing, they go babbling off into space about something that ain't even what you're talking about. There's no decorum. But then they'll turn around and say, oh, well, the dominant society, we're getting sick of black people. What? Listen, you know what? Be sick of us. Just cut our check. Just cut the check. Just cut the check. Time is now. We're not going to play games with these people. We're not going to play games with these people. This guy, Wes Moore, is the Skinfolk Spotlight of the day. He said he moved in partnership with leaders across the state to uplift black families, and address racial disparities in the community. All that sounds sweet, don't it? But what about the money? Have you heard anything about the money yet? That's what he's running from. And that's what we're asking for. We ain't asking you to partnership and go hug and sing songs. We don't care about that. That doesn't help our people. We need resources. We need to be repaired like you repair everybody else. You didn't hug those Ukrainians when they came over here. I didn't see nobody hugging and kissing and joining partnerships with them. Not at all. You gave them money. You gave them compensation. You gave them set-asides. Don't play games with us. We ain't your fools. We don't want you know what you can do? You can keep your partnership. Just cut the check. We don't want to be your partner. Just cut the check. We don't need friends. Cut our check. You ain't friends with the Indians. The Indians can't stand the dominant society, but you seem to cut their check religiously. Give us the same treatment. We don't have to be friends. The bill was introduced in this year's legislative session as a top priority. Top priority, so he can't say he didn't know we were serious. It was a top priority. There were 66 members in the largest black caucus in the nation's state legislators. The caucus released a statement on Friday night expressing how deep and disappointment there was over the governor's veto. This guy, he's not one of us. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's Judas in our midst. He shouldn't be welcomed anywhere. He's not for our people. Wes Moore is dirt to me. And there's no coming. I don't want to hear it. I can't think of anything that he could say that will make me be okay with him from now on. There's no apology I want to hear. He knows the issues that our people face. He is the governor of Maryland. Where do you think Baltimore is? So all knowing all the tragedies and the things those people are facing in Baltimore, knowing all the resources those people lack in Baltimore. He turned down a reparations package. Reparations could also include assistance with making down payments on the homes, all those dilapidated buildings that they could renovate for our people, business incentives, child care, debt forgiveness, tuition payment waivers. It's all kind of things that can be set aside for us that we deserve. HBCUs were founded for foundational Black Americans. That's who they're for. But you go there, you see Latinos, you see Asians, you see everybody there. So everybody is all welcome to come and join and get on the bandwagon to the gravy train we created. But then when we ask for compensation, they act like they don't know nothing. Oh, well, we need to study. Oh, we need to find out. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's why I don't feel no kind of way with Trump ending all those programs. I don't care. Because those people are benefiting off of us in the first place. And then when they get where they're trying to go, they turn around and disrespect us. How many people from the African diaspora or from the Caribbean diaspora do you see getting a Martin Luther King grant or getting some grant that's supposed to be set aside for Black people? Oh, they don't claim to be from there when it's time to get some money. All of a sudden, it's brother, my brother. Or all of a sudden, we're all together. But soon as we start speaking about taking care of our people, which should be goal number one for everybody in America, it should be to take care of the initial sin of this country. It should be to make the foundational Black Americans whole. That should be the goal for everyone, especially the people that are allowed to come over here because of us. Imagine this. Imagine you have a home. And imagine you let some people that are desolate. They don't have no place to live. They're thin. They don't have any food. They're starving. They're dirty. And you bring them home. You bring them to your house. You clean them up. You give them money. You feed them. You nourish them. You get them back on their feet. You give them a place to be. You give them a job. You give them a goal, something to aspire through. And you take care of them. And now imagine those people turn right around and spit in your face. That's exactly what this is. His Caribbean people wouldn't even have been allowed to come to the United States if it was not for foundational Black Americans. For him to turn around and veto a bill for us to get what's supposed to be ours, it's the exact same thing. It never ceases to amaze me when I hear these people go, oh, well, you guys are just hating on us because we're over here doing good. You wouldn't even be over here, much less doing good, if it wasn't for us. What the hell do we have to be jealous for? We made it possible for you to be here. You understand that? This is the ignorance of people who don't understand history. They're thinking some benevolent Caucasians, I guess, got together and said, oh, let's invite more Black people here. That's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. And it's very disrespectful. In 1984, Moore's mother took him and his two sisters to live in the Bronx with her parents. His occasional babysitter was Kamala Harris's stepmother. Well, ain't that a coinky-dink? Remember her? When I ain't gonna do nothing just for Black folk. Remember that? Oh, it looks like these spirits travel in the same circles. Her stepmother was Carol Curlew. His maternal grandfather, James Thomas, a Jamaican immigrant. You see that? A Jamaican immigrant was the first Black minister in the history of the Dutch Reformed Church. They get elevated by the dominant society, then they start thinking there's something else. You're going to learn. Those people are going to learn. Because when one thing I have learned about the dominant society, when they're finished with their flunkies, ask Omarosa what happens when they're done with you. Go ahead. Ask her. When white supremacists are done using their Negroes, there was a Negro who used to come on Fox News all the time. Little thin black dude with glasses. I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. Always talking that garbage. You don't see him no more, do you? When they're done with their tools, they usually break them. They usually break them. Y'all gonna learn. His grandmother, Moore's grandmother, Winnell Thomas, and yeah, I'm saying her name because you created this little nigga, this little bastard. Winnell Thomas, she was a Cuban. She moved to Jamaica before immigrating to the U.S. That's why he don't feel nothing about going against our people. He don't think he's one of us. And I hear that a lot. I hear some people will say, oh, well, don't delineate because when white people see us on the street, we all just black to them. Yeah, that's fine. I hear that. But here's something else. When you see a Korean man, you can assume he's Chinese, but I bet you won't call him Chinese. When you see a Japanese dude walking the street, you can assume he's Chinese. I bet you won't call him Chinese. They will light your behind up. They will quickly let you know. What make you think I Chinese? Is what they tell me. What make you think I Chinese? That's what they say to me. As long as these people are different, we are different. Even if they become something else, we're still different. We are foundational black Americans. Our people were here. And through all kinds of tricks of these people in a dominant society, we are still here. We are still standing strong. We have scholars. We have doctors. These other people that come over here claiming they're successful, when I ask them, what do you mean that you're so successful? What are you doing? I have my own business. Okay, what is your business? Oh, you drive Uber. If you don't get out of my face. But then you have to think. To them, that's a come up. If you come from a place where you were sleeping on a dirt floor, where you guys literally have to go and use the restroom in the street, to be able to come to a place and drive Uber, that's a tremendous come up. That is a come up for you. And I'm happy that you have that. But here's what you do. You stay out of our business because we don't have time to teach you. But what you can understand is quite simply this. If you're not foundational black Americans, you do not have a place in the reparations talk. Reparation means repair. Repair. It's reparations for the foundational black Americans. Okay? It's very, very simple. Stay out of our spaces. It's got nothing to do with you. You should recuse yourself if you find yourself in a position of power and you are not a foundational black American. You should recuse yourself from the conversation. You shouldn't have any say whatsoever, especially if you're going against the wishes of our people. It's disrespectful. I would never go to Jamaica and start telling those people what to do with their places there, and they wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't tolerate it. Why, Yankee boy, they wouldn't allow it. If I went over there and said, all you niggas with these ashy feet and no lotion, all you niggas over here, get down to the water and take a bath. Would they allow that? If I went to Africa and said, all you little musty niggas over here with church shoes on, could I start giving directives over there? Well, then why do these people think they have the right to come here and do it to us? It's very simple. It's very disrespectful. These are not feelings, my friends. These are facts. This is your boy, Lord Eric Steele. I'm got to keep bringing you this heat because these things have to be addressed. You say, why do you keep bringing it up? Well, why do these things keep happening? This is new. This ain't 2020 or 2016. This was just the other day he vetoed this. Wes Moore is a bum. This guy is not one of us. People of Baltimore, you should shun this dude. People of Maryland, do not vote people like this into power. If they have a position and they don't feel that they're going to be able to give resources to our people, do not put them in positions of power. I don't care. Anything else they do is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. They don't have problems giving everybody else money. They don't have money flying, taking trips to go get people that's not even from here. But we can't address the problems of the people that built the place. We're not playing those games. We're not playing those games anymore. No, that time is done. All right? It's your boy, Lord Eric Steele. Today's Spotlight, we definitely shine it on Wes Moore, the Judas in the midst, the Judas in our midst, Wes the mess Moore. Shameful. Shameful. Shameful is all I can say. He's just a disgrace. He will never be considered highly by me ever again. He's dirt to me, so that's the way I feel about it. That's my opinion on this. Those are the facts, and it's not even hard to figure out. It don't take geniuses to figure this out. Nobody else will tolerate this type of behavior, and neither are we. We're not accepting it either. Foundational Black Americans, it's the Lord Eric Steele, FBA all day. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Videos, we're working on a video right now for the song Skinfolk. That's going to be dropping soon. A lot of things coming up positive. Really happy to bring it to you guys. Keep the emails coming. I love it. I love you. Again, salute Foundational Black Americans. I'm out.